Thank you for joining me. It is Takeaway Tuesday with Northern Stamper. Thank you for joining me. I'm a Canadian independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am here to help you show you how to make great cards using a great product this month, and it is called Storybook Moments. And there's some beautiful designer series paper. What I really love about this is these little cute, super duper cute little characters in this package, and we're going to be using some of these guys today. If you purchased with me in January, you had received a package. You may want to get that out. We're going to be using, and it is a red package. So let's take a look on what you got. First of all, if you have any questions, you can always reach me at northernstamper@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help you if you have any questions. What we're going to be doing is we're going to take our package. So first of all, let's open it up. It's all packaged in there. And we are going to be looking for some, let's go through some of the items. We have a card base there. We're going to be looking for a card base. And I'm just going to fold this in half. It is a basic fold card on that. So we're just going to take that, fold it in half. Okay. Use our bone folder to make sure it's nicely creased. So I have that. And in your package, what you need to find, so there are going to be some pieces of basic white. Now, there's could be two different ones. Make sure first you lay one on top. So you're looking for the one, when you lay it on top, there's a nice edge all the way around. There is another piece, and we're going to be using that for something else, okay? We are going to be using some designer series paper, and we're going to be looking for the one with the strawberries in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to be cutting this down. Okay. Beyond that, there is another piece of a red cardstock like this and a piece of white cardstock that will go on like that. And this is all going to come together, and I'm going to show you how it's done. First, let's put this aside and cut our designer series paper. And I'm going to get my handy dandy trimmer. I just love my trimmer. It is fantastic. I just, it has the score blade on it and the cut blade on it, and it's got this great arm, and it's very, very easy to use. I like the fact that there's all these little marks for the different increments. So let's get our designer series paper. I'm going to pop it inside, and I'm going to be cutting it 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to take this in here. I'm going to take it to the 5 inches, and I'm going to be cutting that. Now, because this is non-directional designer series paper, like it doesn't matter which way you cut it, so you can do one cut first, and then the other one. So 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut that. And what's going to happen is I'm going to take this designer series paper, and if we bring in our card base, there's our card base, there's our white, and this will fit just on top. So again, there's a nice little mat all the way around. Okay, so I have that like that. And I'm not going to glue this quite yet, so you don't want to glue it quite yet. Okay, because we need to do a few things first. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this and place this aside because this designer series paper is now cut to what I want it to be. Okay, what I'm going to bring in, there was the piece of red cardstock that I have and a piece of basic white. Now, what you could do is you can stamp a sentiment on here first and then kind of work on it. But what I'm going to do is, I don't know about you, but I just love these sentiments here. There got some that says sending hugs. They're the black and white. Like, they are absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to be using that. All right, so they got a whole bunch of different ones, and I think they're really good. I love them. I think they work really, really well. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using some of the ephemera packs and some characters from this paper pack. So let's look at our little characters to see what we have left over. Whoops, there we go. I'm going to be, where's the guy? I'm going to be taking this guy that's fishing, this guy right here. I'm going to take him out. All right, and you'll notice that I have this piece of brown piece behind it, this really thick cardstock that came with it. The only reason I have that is so that these guys don't go all over the place. I find it easier to move. So I'm also going to take this gate or this fence piece. I want that. And if I take this guy, I want him to have a little companion to go with him. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, look, how about this little guy down here, this little rabbit carrying this radish. And I'm going to add in a little bit of greenery behind him. So I'm going to take this one here. So I'm just going to pop those out. Because I keep this board behind it, it makes it easier to transport. I just pick up the whole board and move it away. All right, so what I'm going to do, let's bring in this. I'm going to show you what it's going to do. Now remember, these are not glued down, so they might be kind of moving around. So I'm going to take this. This will kind of go on an angle a little bit. So that's what I mean. If you're going to stamp a sentiment, you're going to have to do this ahead of time. And what I'm going to do is lay some of these characters on here. And I'm going to be building a little scene. I'm going to take this, kind of place it on here, put that on here, and there. So if you were going to stamp a sentiment, just be aware where this guy lands on this piece of angled basic white. We are also going to be placing a ribbon around it, so just be aware of that. So what I'm going to do is actually, because I was working with some of those sentiments here, I could do this, sending hugs. There's a big one. I think that might be a little bit long. There's a thinking of you. Let's see, what else have we gotten here? I got a congratulations. There's a happy Easter. I have best wishes. I'm going to be looking through some of these and choose the one that I think is going to fit. I like this one that says sending sunshines. Like that. That's actually kind of cute like that. I think I like that. I don't know. Kind of up in the air. Let's take a few more and see what we can work with. I want, let's try these. Let's try these three. I'm going to work with those three and see how it goes. So if you're going to be stamping ahead of time, this you would be stamping right about now and offset it a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to leave these guys off just like that on there. What I want to do is I'm going to be gluing this piece together. And because it's going to be an angle, what I want to do is have a little bit of, I'm going to butt it up. I'm only working on two of the corners, okay? I'm not worried about the top and the other one. So I'm going to put these on here like that. So it is larger than the cardstock, but that's okay because it will be cut off. So let's take this. I'm going to glue this. So this is what I mean. If you are going to be stamping, you want to stamp before you glue. So I'm going to place this on here, and I'm looking in particularly on the bottom and the right to make a little edge, okay? I don't care if it hangs off on the other parts, that's okay. I'm going to bring in my designer series paper because that is what it's going to be based on. So remember we had this piece of designer series paper. Oh, isn't it just gorgeous? Look at those strawberries. I can't wait for springtime or summertime and have strawberries. I'm going to place this on here, all right, so it overhangs. And I'm going to have it so it is kind of like that. So what's going to happen is I need to wrap a ribbon around, but I can't do that yet until I cut this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it like that. And I'm just going to bring in a pencil or a pen and mark on the back. So I know it's like this. I'm going to hold on to it. And I'm just going to run a pencil mark along here. I'm going to run a pencil mark along here. Okay, so if I take that away, I know I need to cut this away. So this, I'm going to be cutting this away. Okay, so this is you're going to keep. This is going to be all cut away. All right, let's bring in our trimmer. So that's why you needed the pieces of white attached to it already. So bring in our trimmer, and I'm going to pop it in here. I can see it's kind of lines up. There we go. Line it up like that, you see, just in the trimmer like that. And I'm just eyeballing it. It's pretty close. Actually, wow, that was pretty good. I got it right on there. And I'm going to just trim it up, okay, on that side. Okay, so now I have this kind of funky little design like this. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this interesting design and we're going to place it along the top here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of ribbon, I have it here, and I'm just going to be wrapping that around. So this looks really good right here. I'm going to be gluing that down. So let's place that on and just pop that on there like that. And I do want it on an angle like that. So there we go. There's a little bit hanging off over here. Let's just snip that. Okay. And I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to wrap it around just like so. It's going to go around the edge. Let's tape that down here so it won't go anywhere. Tape that there. And around the other side. Add a little adhesive. And tape that down. So there we go. So we have it wrapped around this portion now. Let's go back to our card design. I'm going to take our little characters, kind of move them off a little bit. We're going to be placing this right on top of that basic white, and that's going to be glued on top, just like that. So let's go ahead and glue that because we are finished with the ribbon at this point. And just popping it on there. Okay. And I will be placing a little knot on here, but that will be once I have it on the card. So let's put this on the card base now. Take that and just place it on top. Again, a nice edge all the way around. Look at this. This is really coming together. I love how the red is really bringing out the little strawberries there. Okay, we're going to take our characters again, and we're just going to lay them in. And I'm going to be making this, so I want that fence right around there. My character on here. So there we go. We have roughly an idea of where it's going to go. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave that fence because I'm going to have a hard time gluing that. But what I'm going to do is I will have it so it's set up that this guy is kind of overlapping a little bit. Let's put a little touch of glue right about there and on top. That is just touching a little bit on there. Let's get some dimensionals and pop them on the back of the character. Okay. And the dimensionals will add some height to the character as he sits on. Oops, there we go. Don't want to move our little fence. Again, right on top. And I'm going to take this little piece of kind of background. And again, I'm going to be placing a dimensional and it will be glued right where that fencing is. So I'm just not going to move it. Put a piece of dimensional right there and press it through the kind of gate portion of that fence. So now that kind of really holds it. Let's get dimensionals for our little bunny character and add him on top. And all that's left is to put a little pretty bow and a sentiment. So I'm going to put this on top, and there we go, on top like that. Let's wrap this up on here. I'm just going to make a kind of like a shoelace knot on this. And there we go. Bring it like that. And cut it like so. And all that's left is placing my sentiment on here. So I could put sending hugs. I can have it on an angle like this. I could have it all the way across just under the bow like that. That actually looks really cute like that. I really like that. Oh my goodness. I could put it like this. Actually, I really like that sending hugs. I think that really stands out with the black. This can go along the side. Like we could have it like that, but I think it's a little bit too small. Let's go with the sending hugs. Normally if I would stamp, I would have stamped like right on that angle. But this sentiment with the black, I think really stands out. Looks really nice. I'm really glad I got these sentiments. There we go. And it just stands like that. Like, oh my goodness. That is such a cute looking card on itself. And just for the inside, I'm going to take a piece of basic white. This is just a scrap piece I had. I'm going to place it on the inside because the card base on the inside is a darker color. And I'm going to put that in there. And like that. And let's look at some of our characters. What have we got here? What can we add? Let's add a couple of little things. Let's add this little piece here. And I don't know, what else have we got? Oh, you know what? I really like this wheelbarrow. I'm going to grab the wheelbarrow. Let's get these two and we can place it on. Maybe I'll just put the one on and or like that. I don't know. I think I really like the wheelbarrow in there. I'm going to place it flat in there. Just lay it down. And that. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to keep this little watering can for something else. But that is the card for Takeaway Tuesday. Isn't that great? Now I wanted to show you the original mock-up. See, this is the one where it is stamped on the side. Looks really good too. I love it. I love how these turned out. What a great design. These characters are super duper cute. Comment below which one you like best and if you like this card design at all. I'd love to see how yours turns out. Anyways, have a great day and I will see you for next Takeaway Tuesday.